That's the most loving thing you can do, is to help somebody else find Jesus and then journey with him, to help them pursue him. I'm gonna focus on one chapter where Jesus kind of brings it all to a point. Luke chapter 15. The chapter begins this way. Tax collectors and other notorious sinners often came to listen to Jesus, but that made people mad, right? Like the Pharisees and other religious leaders, they got upset at this, and they were complaining because Jesus was associating with these lowly sinners. He was even eating meals with them. So Jesus told them this story. If a man has 100 sheep and how many? One of them gets lost, what will he do? Won't he leave the 99 and leave them in the wilderness, and he'll go search for the how many? One that is lost until he finds it. And then when he has found it, he will joyfully carry it home on his shoulders. And then when he arrives, he will call together his friends and neighbors saying, rejoice with me because I found my lost sheep. And in the same way, notice this language, in the same way, Jesus tells us, there's more joy in heaven over how many? One lost sinner who repents and returns to God than over 99 others who are righteous and haven't strayed away. Jesus goes on and he says this, he says, or suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses how many? One. Won't she light a lamp and sweep the entire house and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she will call in her friends and neighbors and say, rejoice with me. Woo, rejoice, because I found my lost coin. In the same way, there's joy in the presence of God's angels when even how many? One sinner repents. God gets really excited over just one. You know what this means? It means we should too. It means when there's even one baptism, we should get on our feet. We should come out of our seats. We should lift our hands. We should put them together. We should celebrate. We should praise. We should let them know that we agree with heaven over what's going on in that person's life when they've surrendered to Jesus. He goes on to illustrate the point further. Jesus told them this story. A man had 2 sons. The younger one told his father, I want my share of your estate now before you die. So his father agreed to divide his wealth between his sons. Within a couple days, his son has packed up all his stuff. He's taken the money, he's taken all the goods, and he leaves. And he goes off. He just blows through it so fast. He's got to find a job, and he finds his job taking care of these pigs. And it's like pigs are unholy to them, and it's just terrible. And verse 17 tells us, when he finally came to his senses, this young boy is like, what have I done? He says to himself, at home, even my dad's servants are eating better than me. They have food left over, enough to spare. And here I'm dying of hunger. And so I'll go home, I'll say to my dad, Father, I've sinned against heaven and I've sinned against you. I don't even deserve to be called your son any longer. Please hire me on as a servant. He returns home to his father, and while he's still a long way off, the father saw him coming, and the dad runs to him, filled with love and compassion. Filled with love and compassion, he runs to his son, he embraces him, and the son starts in on a speech. Dad, I've sinned against you, I've sinned against heaven, I don't deserve to be called. And the dad interrupts him and says, nonsense, you're my boy, welcome home. And he looks at his servants, he's like, bring the best robe, bring that smooth suit for this kid, put the slickest shoes on his feet, fire up the grill, put on the steaks. He says, hang the streamers, turn on the party lights, get the music going. He's like, we gotta throw a party because my son was dead and now he's alive. He was lost and now he's found, and all this is happening, and the older brother's out in the field and he sees everything going, but he asks one of the servants, what's up? The guy says, your brother's back, and the older son's like, that's terrible. My younger brother's a punk. All this for him? I ain't going in and celebrating that. And his dad comes out to him and says, my boy, what are you doing? He says, I've been your servant. I've been like a slave to you. I've never left, and you've never done this for me. The dad says to him, look, my dear son, my boy, look around. You've stayed by my side this entire time. Everything I have is yours. You want a party like this? It's yours. But we had to celebrate because your brother who was dead is alive again. He was lost. Now he's found. Join the party. It's for you too because you're already part of it. We had to celebrate. He was lost. Now he's found.